Caitlyn Jenner, yeah, Fox News contributor and occasional, well, regular sellout, appeared on Fox and Friends to comment on a locker room issue that's going on right now at a Vermont high school. The Olympian accused the left of hijacking and politicizing the trans community.
Here we go again. You know, first let's take a step back. The left has hijacked and politicized yet another minority group in our wonderful country, the good old US of A. And this time again, it's trans people. As a result of their radical left and their use of identity politics agenda, they're really driving this country apart. I thought Joe Biden was supposed to be the great unifier, and all they're doing is driving this apart.
Yeah, well, I don't know necessarily about that, but of course, the narrative that Jenner is talking about, this is what is involved, courtesy of Media. So multiple female volleyball players were banned from using a locker room after complaining about a transgender student who was born a biological male using the same locker room. One of the students said a complaint was made after the student allegedly made an inappropriate comment while the team was changing. Now, Jenner conceded that the trans student has a right to use the locker room, but also went on to blast the school for taking action against the girls who complained.
Now, does this trans girl have the right under Vermont law to be on the team and to use the locker room? Yes, she does. Do these girls have the right to comment and tell the school board how uncomfortable they are being in a locker room with basically a biological boy with a penis? Absolutely they do. And what is the school's solution to this? Well, let's ban the 10 girls who complain, the complainers, put them off in the corner in their own little part of the locker room, and don't do anything when it comes to this trans person.
This is so incredibly, wow, she's just so special. Anyway, so Jenner went on to suggest that the locker room may be split up as sort of a compromise, and even claims that trans rights in schools really is just a parental rights issue.
If the girls are uncomfortable, and I don't blame them, if I had a daughter, I would want my daughter would be uncomfortable there. So the trans person can obviously use a different area of the locker room and then everybody's happy. But this is a parental rights issue. It is on the ballot. The mama bears and the papa bears out there, they are awake because of COVID. They're seeing what's happening. And they're more invigorated than they've ever been before to vote these people out.
Jenner really seems to be pushing for a separate but equal approach. Anyway, so the mother of the trans student involved shared her side of the story, explaining really that her daughter is being harassed and bullied by fellow students. And the incident really seemed to start in late September when her daughter was changing in the girls' locker room before volleyball practice, when 3 teammates started yelling at her to get out and to stop looking at them, the students alleged. It ended up being picked up by a local outlet, and this is what we know. So after being yelled at, the girls went into a locker room bathroom stall to change. She wasn't sure if she was supposed to put on her team jersey, so she popped her head around the corner at one point to check with her teammates. The girls started yelling at her again. Now, the volleyball coach overheard what had happened and reported the incident to school administration. And 2 days later, an administrator called the mother to tell her that 3 people reported that her daughter had been bullied and harassed. As a result, the school was launching an investigation. The administrator also told the mother that the girls' volleyball team could not be unsupervised in the locker room until the investigation was completed. Yeah, that sounds like a lot is definitely going on here, but what should be going on is inclusivity as opposed to transphobia. And unfortunately, it seems that Caitlyn Jenner is continuing to advance transphobia and these right-wing narratives. And it's so incredibly disappointing, much like Kanye West, where it's just the self-hatred, self-loathing, sellout nature is just disgusting. Ben.
Yeah, as somebody who played high school football very unsuccessfully, I can tell you it can be a little confusing as to which practice, which jersey you're wearing, what thing you're doing. So to be able to pop your head around and check on somebody is not proof of anything inappropriate. As Caitlyn Jenner correctly said, this is a matter of the law. It is illegal. And therefore, this student is allowed to be in that locker room. And so I don't understand where the controversy is when the law currently is what it is. But Caitlyn Jenner, yet again, an incredibly confused person, as you can see not only in the very strange hypocritical nature in what she says, but she said in this clip, if I had a daughter, she has multiple daughters. They're very famous. Has she not heard of Kylie Jenner or whatever the other one's name is, Courtney Jenner? No one knows. The two of them. Kylie's a billionaire. Maybe they're not returning her calls at the moment. Why am I blocking the other one's name? The other one, the one that's like, you know what I'm talking about. There's two very famous daughters, is the point.
Yeah, for real. No, I remember when I initially watched that clip, I was like, wait, what?
What's the other one's name? Kylie Jenner, and what's the other one?
I don't know.
Kendall.
They got all, she'll be different next week with different plastic surgery and fillers. Anyway, but it's so incredibly disheartening, this thought that she is so willing to tear down members of the trans community that she can't even remember her own kids. Like
the
that.
community that have given, exactly, that have given her literally such support, and the whole country, the whole world have given her such support, gracing magazine covers as this icon of the trans movement, and then just to at every turn your back on that movement. It's as though Caitlyn Jenner only wants trans rights for Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah, wow, yeah, exactly. It's like, wow, you are really very much aligned with the GOP. Congratulations, you are playing against yourself without a doubt. This is so hustling backwards, and she, I'm sure, is gonna have an Olympic gold medal in it, because if she thinks that the right wing is going to suddenly embrace her if they were to rise to power and take over the United States, it's like she couldn't be further from being a fool. Like, are you out of your mind? Anyways, any last thoughts, Ben?
Yeah, Fox News salivates over stuff like this. They love to have somebody who can be an outlier example that can prove their bigotry and come on and say, look, a transgender person agrees with us, so we're all good. You have to factor in that transgender person is the incredibly self-serving Caitlyn Jenner, and then take it with a grain of salt. But nobody will on that side of the aisle.
I don't think they will.